bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems, let me When I've been magic with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go to wrap up this Sunday of action. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
2nd and 10. Throwing right, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for the Giants. 56 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. Finds his tight end Ingram. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Fourth down, so Pat Shurmur trots out the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they'll likely get a few more drives before we see the second team, but a good start for the first unit with 3 points.
Yeah, good start, and now they want to see them build on it because you're exactly right. They'll get a few more drives at this stage of the preseason. Can they continue to evolve and add to what we just saw in the first drive?
Following the field goal on is Riley Dixon to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Bengals get ready for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
They'll get this out wide to Boyd. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And some room to work. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 77 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll set up a throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down from the 24. They'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going for it all. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Following the field goal on is Riley Dixon to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Off play action. Owens. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Got it. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Now.
On first down, Owens toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's second down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on them on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage. And the defense for New York.
When I watch Khalil Mack play, I just see fury, passion, and incredible athleticism. This guy can flat-out play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun. Owens. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 27-yard line.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 27. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Break. 54, right there, 54 Mike. Good trap.
Mixon with a first down carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On second down, here's Mixon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. To throw on 3rd down. Owens. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
the kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And Ingram hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
He'll drop to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that'll bring him back within 4. So not the strongest of kicks we've seen him make, but he gets a favorable bounce, and it's 3 points all the same.
Yeah, that was one of those where he needed the 6-iron, but he pulled out the 9-iron. That one was run out of gas quickly, but he does manage to pop it over the bar.
Following the field goal on is Riley Dixon to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get a 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Joe Mixon. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over it from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This quarterback now already over 200 yards in this first quarter. And he's got another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
The Bengals getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. This is Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
A draw play for Mixon. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they run with Mixon, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Owens. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Here's Matt Bosher now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded at about the 28. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah,
they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are going to jump back in front.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Point after here coming up. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Owens. He completes it to Boyd. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Off the play fake. Owens. Airing one out from... That's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. They'll run on first down. Nixon, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Owens looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Owens got his man. It's Eifert. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. Zerline's kick is up and through. And we are all tied at 16 apiece. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Finds his tight end Ingram. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll look to throw here on first down. A short throw to Ingram.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Ready? 91. 54. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
To throw from his end zone, Owens. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Taking it about the 16. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
The Giants on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 49 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. On the delay, it's Mixon. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And forcing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Toss play. This is Anderson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a run with Anderson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Owens. Airing one out for Boyd. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn it?
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off the bootleg. Owens out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Owens gets through, and now an opening. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the 1st. They get him to the ground at the 37. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to fire one deep. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And out now, here come the Bengals. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Khalil Mack able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw. Owens. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. It's taken to the 26. 51 yards on the punt there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Most teams in the league hitting the 3-quarter pole in the preseason. The whole league will be in action next Thursday night to wrap it all up. And then we start for real a week after that with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive. Something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. All Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Let's make these
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Offside defense.
So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
Ready? Check mark 54. Line 54. What's the cross? Now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there and a Bengal first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 47. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When the Giants have it, it's picked up, and they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll drop to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They're going to look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly they're still short for fourth. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here we go. Just the outlook. Come on. Defense wins championship, baby.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
2nd and 4. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Strong right.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It can be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
50, plant. 54, Mike. No game on this defense, no game.
On first down, Farrell. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Farrell. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. A short throw to Ingram. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's knocking on that door for a 100-yard gain.
And what receiver doesn't want to be part of this entry club? Every receiver, when the game starts, wants to have 100 or more yards next to his name. It's a badge of honor, but it also shows that you're helping out your team.
And he has certainly been helping out his team so far. They start the drive with Anderson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Giants. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Owens. And this throw will be intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And New York set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Defense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dexter Lawrence. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. And man over the middle, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 24. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Set. 60 outlaw. I'm coming for you. You mine. Get it.
To throw on second down. Owens throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver, and it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. This is taken at the 15. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And able to find Green. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
You ready? Hey. Rabbit. Five.
They'll run on first down. Farrell. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Again, Anderson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And how about this? A fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. The fake punt gets him 13 yards. A huge play on special teams. It's a first down. Off play action. Owens. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Anderson. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That's complete to the tight end Sample. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. From 4 yards out. And it's for pride now, but the Bengals get a bit closer.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Zerline good with a PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Throwing on first down. Goodrich. He'll find Metcalf. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 2nd down now, it's Barnes, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Off the play fake. Goodrich. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brady. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 35. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, Goodrich. And he'll find Hall. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, Finley again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. This is taken at the 18. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Off the bootleg. Goodrich. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Goodrich. And he rifles one incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Goodrich. His throw incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB on.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. I'm sure as a rookie, even though this is preseason, Charles, interceptions, you got to eat at you quite a bit.
They certainly do, but here's the problem that he's confronted with. He's not the high draft pick. He's not seen as the next guy. He's got to prove himself to everyone and get noticed. So maybe instead of taking the safer throw, you press it a little bit. Try and push it downfield, try and fit into a tight window, and sometimes interceptions result.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. On 2nd down, Farrell. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. On 3rd down, Finley. Over the middle, complete. It's Farmer. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Bengals gain a bit of respectability.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Zerline now for the PAT. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On first down, Barnes. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
At the 27-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Barnes, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Right there, 56. Hey, watch the boot, watch the boot. Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Hey, got it right. Watch out in.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Laird. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Off-play action. Goodrich. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards and a giant first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
They'll keep it on the ground. Laird. And he gets it down to the 32. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Set 18 Gator. 56. Hey, let's get this, get this.
They'll run on first down. Laird. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 18-yard line.
We got 4.
On 2nd down now, Laird. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Looking to throw. Goodrich to the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Following the field goal on is Riley Dixon to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Finley to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Finley here, 3rd and long. Complete to his tight end Sample. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Get it.
First down, Finley. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Finley. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. To the air again, Finley. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. On 1st down, Farrell. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Farrell. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.